Hi, welcome to Velo News TV. I'm Neil Rogers here in Girona, Spain. I'm with Team Colombia's Greg Henderson at Zanpanzar. It's a Basque tapas bar. And you were actually, before the camera was rolling, you were just telling me this is a spot that you and JJ Haedo come down and fill up on now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. When Katie's away and it's just JJ and I and the boys can't be bothered cooking, we usually rock down here and grab a cerveza or two and a couple of tapas.
Yeah, we've been enjoying the spread, and you'll see that on the clip there. It's amazing. You know, actually, let's start with that because I thought it was interesting. You and I were walking down one of these narrow streets here the other night, and hey, that's where JJ lives. I live around the corner, and you know, for our North American audience who are watching, they probably remember, you know, for example, Tour of Georgia, you and JJ battling it out in the sprints, and I think, you know, it's always interesting the fact that you guys are fierce competitors on the road. But off the road, you guys train together, you have meals together. And what's that like? Is it adversarial? You guys are able to keep it separate? Is there a lot of, you know, giving each other a hard time now and then?
Nah, it's because I think the biggest thing is the respect, you know. We have a lot of respect for each other. It's you know, funny you should say that. We do race hard against each other, but yeah, I mean, he lives in the same block as me, so it just boils down to the respect, you know. He has respect for me, I have respect for him, and you know, it's not like we put each other in a fence or anything like that. So yeah, it's no stress at all.
I think you could see that in that last stage in Georgia. There was a whole sequence of photos where you came across the line and you flexed, and JJ kind of stuck his tongue out and made a face like, Hendy got the better of me.
Yeah, Hendy got me today, but you know, 2 days prior he got me, so it's like, yeah, no, it's good.
So when did you first decide, okay, Girona is going to be my European base, this is going to be my home away from home?
Well, Katie and I looked at Belgium to start with, just because we got a couple of Aussie friends in Belgium as well.
Sorry to cut you off. Katie Mack here, Australian pursuit champion and Greg's fiance.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, so we looked at Belgium. Katie's got a few friends there and I've got a few friends there, but I think the thing that drew us here was just the amount of Americans and English speakers here, and also the big overriding factor at the end of the day was the weather. I mean, it's just amazing weather here compared to Belgium. Belgium can be anything in the summer, whereas, you know, here's just amazing.
Although it's fair to say it gets a little hot here. Before the camera was rolling, you were talking about a training ride you went on by yourself yesterday where it was 40 degrees centigrade and you were 6 bottles on the day, maybe 2 or 3 bottles short, eh?
Yeah, but I mean, that was the only problem. There just wasn't enough places to stop. You know, I didn't find enough places to stop. That was the only thing. I mean, you know, you do an Australian summer in Melbourne, you get days like exactly the same. So it's not like I don't like the heat or anything like that. Sure, I have to acclimatise to it, but yesterday was a bit of an epic because of just the lack of stopping places.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, and obviously, I mean, formerly High Road, now Team Columbia, you've got George Hincapie here, you've got Michael Berry here, you've got Craig Lewis here. Let's talk a little bit about the team and your season up till now. I mean, High Road, the team High Road, which, you know, is about to change the sponsorship and change the name, but what an amazing season the team has had. Talk a little bit about the way the season is built up for the team up to now and your own season and how they've overlapped.
It's amazing, isn't it, really, like the amount of wins we've had, and the big thing is how many different winners. You know, it's not just the rock stars that get paid the big money. It's not them that's just winning all the time. There's so many different winners. So I think that's a credit to the team itself. And of course, you know, I'm not one of the top bike riders, but when I got given my opportunity, you know, you have to take it. So I knew that in Georgia I was going to get an opportunity to race for myself, and you have to, you know, basically take the ball with both hands and run, you know. And I turned up there with really good form, and I was really confident, and you know, I had probably some of the best racing I've done in the US, and you know, I proved to the directors that if they put the pressure on me, you know, then I'm quite happy to rise to the challenge, and you know, hopefully they'll give me more opportunities.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We were talking with Mara Abbott earlier, and she's on the women's, formerly High Road, now Columbia team, and she has not yet started a World Cup. I mean, it's the women's #1 team in the world, and it's so selective just to even make the World Cup team. Yeah, she's a U.S. national champion. She just finished second in a major European stage race. You were not selected for the Tour de France team. Michael Berry was not as well. On you guys are on just about any other Pro Tour team. good chance you're going to the Tour. Talk a little bit about, you got the Tour of Austria coming up. Michael's going to be there. Craig Lewis is going to be there. I mean, that's probably the strongest, if you want to call it, B team in pro cycling.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? We've got our A, B, and C team still really, really strong. It's crazy, but Austria, we've got a couple of chances there. I'm actually sprinting with Andre Greipel again, so between the two of us, we'll be able to obviously work out on the day who's flying. At the moment, Greipel's going really well, so I'm more than happy to give Greipel a hand. And then, of course, like you said, we've got Lewis and we've got Barry, and then we've got a couple other really good guys turning up as well. So, yeah, you look at it, it goes A, B, and C team, because we run 3 programs at some stages, and every single person is capable of winning on the team.
And you're one of the few guys in professional cycling who can truly juggle track racing and road racing. I mean, there are people that dabble in both, but you've been a world champion on the track. You've been one of the top guys in North America on the road. Beijing Olympics are coming up, and as soon as the Tour of Austria is over, is it fair to say you shift gears immediately into a track racer for about a month? Talk a little bit about from Austria through Beijing.
Yeah, so that's dead right. I 100% switch and focus for about 3 weeks. After Austria, I go straight to Bordeaux and meet up with the rest of the New Zealand track team. So full gas basically on the track for 3 weeks, and basically change your engine, change it from a diesel to a rotary basically, or a turbo. It's like all your endurance disappears, but you get such a high top end, and everything for me now after Austria is focused towards the points race in the Madison in Beijing.
Any predictions? I mean, who are the guys that you're going to be battling in Beijing, and how do you see your chances?
I think it'll be the same guys I normally line up against. I mean, you've got the Russian Olympic champion, then you've got Kirienko, the guy from Tinkoff there, who's world champion at the moment. Juan Linares from Spain, he's been Olympic champion and 4-time world champion. Young fella Cameron Meyer from Aussie, he's got really good talent, and he's definitely one to watch also. And of course you got the Palm as well, bloody Chris Newton. So it's Olympic Games. You don't get there by fluke. So I mean, let's be honest, there's probably 15 guys that can become Olympic champions. That's the beauty of the Olympics. They're so bloody hard. But I've been top 5 in the world now for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been world champion, so I'm definitely going to Beijing with an eye on the podium.
If you don't mind, I just kind of taking a little step into your personal life for a moment. What's it like being engaged to a fellow Olympian? Katie McTeer is going to represent Australia. She's one of the favorites in the pursuit. Olympic Games come along once every 4 years. I know in women's cycling it's particularly important. I mean, on the one hand, there's the pressure of the Olympics for you both. On the other hand, you'll be there together, and you can understand what each other's going through. I mean, talk a little bit about what the dynamic is like between the two of you when you're both focused on potentially medaling at the Olympics.
Oh, it's great. It's great to have her there, and I'm sure it's great for her to have me there. It's we support each other, we understand, and the big thing is the understanding. Have a hard day's training or a bad day's training. We both know that, righto, they happen, but I mean, it's still it can be stressful too. Let's be honest, it's the biggest event in the world. It's the Olympic Games. For some people, it's the biggest event in the world, and there's a lot of pressure riding on, especially for our countries. Like in New Zealand, I'm tipped as one of the medal favourites. Katie, obviously, tipped as one of the medal favourites. So there's definitely external pressures also. But I think having her there and me being there for her, it just helps a lot in the load a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and beyond Beijing, what's left for you in the 2008 season?
At the moment, I'm scheduled for Ireland and Great Britain, and then I'm not 100% certain after that. And there's a possible chance of shooting back to Aussie and racing the Sun Tour there. I heard a rumour. I mean, I don't know, but maybe Colombia will be coming out, sending a team over to do the Sun Tour.
Speaking of rumors, it's maybe a little early, but is your contract with Columbia through 2009, or are you going to? Is it up in the air?
No, it's through 2009.
Okay, so we'll see you on Columbia for sure next year.
Yeah.
And will Girona be home as well for you next year?
Yeah, no question.
All right, Greg. Well, I really appreciate the time. It's been fun having you show us around Girona a little bit, spending some time with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Beijing up on the podium.
Bloody oath, looking forward.